This is my 1965 Impala Super Sport. I just wanted to get some video of the car all around. I've been restoring it for about 3 years. I'm getting closer to being done with it. I just wanted to give some highlights on it. I got the car running right now. You can hear it. It's got the dual thrush welded mufflers. They're pretty loud. You get a little bit of droning when you're driving the car down the road too, so if you don't want something too loud, I don't recommend them for that, but they have a really good sound. If you want the nice loud exhaust hot rod sound, this car's still got the original stock 283 in it, and it sounds really good. But, I just finished the paint and body work about a couple months ago, and it was my first time ever doing that, but it came out pretty good overall, I think. It's original Madeira maroon is the color I went with. Also restored the interior. You can see the interior is original black bucket seats, headliner. I had to learn to do all this stuff myself. I had never done any of it before, but it came out good. I recovered the seats, put new sponges, new foam in the seats, new carpet, floor mats, repainted the console, repainted the dash. I had to get a few parts here and there from different places on the internet. I bought a lot of parts new, and then the parts that I couldn't find new, I got a lot of them mostly from Facebook. There's a lot of Impala groups on Facebook that the people are pretty good source of parts for the parts that are not remanufactured. You see, my car had the optional bumper guards. They were on there whenever I bought it. I just put them back that way. I still haven't re-chromed my bumpers. I would like to do that eventually, but right now I'm just wanted to get it back drivable where I could enjoy it. It's got Foose wheels on it, 15-inch wheels. I got little wider ones on the back, but still 15-inch wheels though. I put the dual antennas on it. The antennas are actually from a 61, 62 model. I bought them off of eBay, new. Of course, the one on the driver's side's just for looks. But overall, I'm pretty happy with my build. Like I said, there's still more things that I would like to do in the future. I want to put disc brakes all the way around it. So right now it's just got the drums on it. But they work pretty good, but from what I understand, the discs work a lot better, so I want to try that out later on. I'll make more videos as I do upgrades. I didn't do a lot of videos during the restoration. I did a lot of work by myself and just didn't take the time to do it, but I'm going to try to make an effort to do videos of all the stuff that I got to do from here on out. One thing that I'm planning to upgrade on the car is the temperature. As you can see, it's about midways in the gauge right now. I don't have a thermometer that tells you the actual temperature, but it's about 61 degrees. I've just been driving it down the road. But when you stop in traffic, the temperature tends to climb up toward the high mark, pretty much to the top of the scale. So I bought me a radiator. I'm going to do a video later on the install of the US radiator. And also bought all the components for the, that makes it the same as the heavy duty cooling from the factory in the air conditioned model cars. It has a shroud and a different spacer that goes in front of the radiator. As you can see, there's a temperature gauge, oil gauge, fuel gauge, an amp gauge. That's the Super Sport package on the gauges. We've got the custom auto sound Bluetooth radio in the car. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The controls are kind of difficult to remember. I always keep the book handy. You'd have to put all the controls in just a few buttons and to make it look sort of factory. It looks pretty good overall. When it's turned off, you don't have any digital writing, but you can see the numbers to make it look similar to an original. But when it's turned on, you have the digits that come up behind it that you can read it digital. It has plastic chrome buttons and stuff. To me, I would have paid extra if they would have made it look more original in that way. They would have put real chrome knobs and the other part. It just doesn't really match very well. This is just the sound of the car as it's driving down the road. You can tell it's kind of loud. I got all the windows down right now though, so that adds to it. But it just has a really good sound as you're driving it. It's originally and still is the 283 with the Power Glide. I rebuilt the Power Glide. It was my first time doing that also, but everything came out really good with that. I watched several YouTube videos on that and I didn't have any trouble whatsoever. Everything worked just perfectly when I put it back together and didn't have any issues, so it definitely pays to do your research. But it's not something that's impossible that your average person can't do, especially if you're a mechanically inclined person. I've worked on cars and stuff since I was a teenager, but never been a professional mechanic. So it's if you got any mechanical skills at all, it's something that most people should be able to do. It's still got the original manifold vacuum gauge on the right side. I think that most of your lower horsepower cars have that with the automatic. On the left side, it's got the 4-gauge cluster that Super Sports came with. It's the fuel, amps, oil, and temperature. Those gauges were kind of hard to come by when I got my car. My gauges and instruments were damaged because the windshield had been leaking and they were not usable, so I had to find me new gauges. The manifold vacuum gauge still worked. It didn't get wet apparently, and but the Super Sport gauge, nobody makes that new as of right now. I'm figuring sooner or later they will. But I found one on eBay. I actually found it for a really good price. It was in good shape. A lot of times you'll see it for several $100s. I found that one for $60-something, and it all worked, so I was very happy with that. Anyway, you can see it's a pretty nice car to drive down the road. It has a very nice ride to it. I don't know if you noticed in the stance of the car, but I lowered it probably about 3 inches in the front. It had a lot of wheel well showing. I wanted it to look a little lower in the front end. In order to do that, I cut the springs about 1.5 coils. I removed them, and I have Global West lower control arms, which allows you to cut the spring wherever you want, and you can rotate the spring pocket to match wherever you cut it. But from what I understand, if you cut one coil off, it lowers the car about 2 inches. I did that at first, and I wanted it just a little lower, so after I got my Global West control arms, I cut it down another half a coil, and I'm pretty happy with the ride height now. Alright, one of the things that I upgraded on my car was the taillights. I put LED taillights on there that are sequential. They still look completely original. They're actually the original lenses. But on the inside of them, I put these circuit boards. I bought them from eBay. They're about $350, but you can, what they do is they'll make the taillights come on in a sequential order from inside to outside, and you can actually change it to where it goes from outside to inside, and when you turn your signals on, they also do the same thing. So when you turn on your left signal, you'll see the lights come on sequentially, just like so. And you have to upgrade the flasher to a solid state flasher also, or else it gives you all kinds of trouble. But you can also, as you can see, it does it on the right and left, and the center light is a backup light, and when you put the car in reverse, it comes on clear. But when you have it on the signal or the brake light, it actually lights up red. So it's a pretty cool upgrade to modernize the car a little bit. It just gives it a little custom look. So like I said, you buy them on eBay. They're a little bit difficult to program. You have to push buttons on the circuit board and get them to all be on the same mode, because they do all kinds of different tricks. They can come on in, I don't know, a lot of different configurations. But once you get them right, they stay right. Even if you take the battery loose, the board stays programmed. So it's pretty good. I like them.